I'm doing a video on my attempt to repair this violin. It has some open seams. They're a little difficult to see in the video there, but there's quite a big open seam here. And actually, after inspection, I realized that both sides are open and then also both shoulders, but only for the back plate, thankfully. The front plate is still securely glued on. I've never done this before, so you guys get to see me try this out. All right, tools. I've got some small non-sharp metal knives, palette knife, some paper towels, a tool for removing the chin rest, which I have already done, and hide glue. Normally I would want to use the granules, but I wasn't able to get any access to the granules. And clamps. I've seen other videos where people do this with spring clamps or C-clamps, and my understanding is that this is a very bad idea to try this with spring clamps or C-clamps. Instead, there are special clamps used specifically by luthiers. These are my attempt at creating them using 1/4 inch bolt with wing nuts, a dowel, and some neoprene washers. So I have a bunch of these. I did run out of some of the neoprene washers, so I just use cork instead, which is what is used on the real luthier spiral clamps. And that's it. Now my glue is starting to cool off slowly, so we're going to dive right in. First off, as I said, I got the chin rest off already. Now, the cracks up here I noticed are very, very small, and that's why I have these things. So we're going to wedge that open, get the palette knife in there, and then very gently, if I can do it gently, because I'm not trying to make the crack any bigger. There we go. Whew. Okay. Now I was planning on doing that all the way around and then gluing them all, but now I'm not sure. It might be better to do them one at a time. Because what I don't want to do is wedge open this side, and then have that cause the glue here to come undone. Although this is pretty well glued in. Let's just experiment a little bit right here. There we go. That looks pretty good. The crack is going pretty far and it's coming up here, but I don't see any separation up here. So I think we are looking really good. All right. Now, like I said, this is wide open. I mean, boop, look at that, wide open. So I'm not gonna worry about prying this open, but there is a spot over here that we're going to have to pry open. So let's get the knife in. There we go. And trying to do this without losing any of the other wedges. All right. Now it can do a little dance. Okay. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, I took it to a luthier and they quoted me $500 to start just doing this job. And I respect that because he knows what he's doing and he's trained hard and long to do it. And if I had $500, I would gladly have paid him to do it. Unfortunately, this situation being what it is, here I am. Now my hide glue is at about 110, 115 degrees, which is a pretty good spot for it to be at. The bottle instructs that it should be heated to about 100 to 140 degrees, and I'm doing it in water, of course. Now this is where the paper towels come in. Okay. This is a brand new bottle, so we are going to have to get it open for ourselves. Okay. I'll have to find that little nub later. And now we're going to use our spatula to insert glue into our cracks. Just small bits at a time because it's actually quite runny. And let's see, we're going to start, I think, with these more difficult spots over here. There we go. And try and get that. I understand there's a very, shall we say, gentle time limit here. You know, if I'm too slow, the glue will start to firm up before I have everything clamped down. And that's not good. All right. That appears to be good. So we're going to have our first clamp. Forgetting a step. We need to take a damp paper towel and wipe away excess glue. And then use the dry end. There we go. That looks much nicer. All right. Ordinarily, I would really love to have several of these clamps, but I've only got 6. So we're going to be a bit more frugal. Okay, now to move up here. I'm going to clean off my knife because that glue has already started to cool and get tacky. Okay. All right, take this. out. That's one way to do it. Just trying to work it in there. I always hate using a spatula to deliver something into a crease or a groove like this. I feel like it's so hard to actually get it in. All right, that's the best we're gonna get. Wipe off my spatula real quick because that was a lot of glue all over the place. Let's do fresh wipe down with damp paper towel. Now the dry end. Now clamps. Okay, that's pretty firm. I don't want to tighten it down too much, right? Okay. And now for the other shoulder. Get that clean again. I'm hoping I'm doing a good job. I mean, I got basically zero guidance before doing this. Although, there were a couple of people on the internet, Facebook, Reddit, who really gave me, like, invaluable advice. You know, I was gonna try and do this with wood glue, and the guys on Reddit discouraged me from doing that. And I think I just got some hide glue on my tuning pegs. That's dandy. Okay. But they really encouraged me to try out using hide glue instead of the wood glue. And to make my own clamps. Okay, now this time I actually had some glue seep out after clamping. So let's try and clean that up a little more. Not perfect, but it'll have to do. I've got a little bit on my fingers, and now my fingers are starting to get tacky. I gotta keep my spatula clean because if it starts drying on the spatula, that's not good either. Okay, so we've got these corners clamped. I've got 3 clamps left. I think I'm gonna need all of them for over here because this is such a wide gap. It goes all the way here to here. So I've been saving them. Okay. looks really good. That looks like a great application. I'm gonna actually put a little bit on the other side of the opening here. Awesome. I think that worked great. I kind of had a feeling that the little openings would be the harder ones. Okay. So, I've got a little bit of excess right on the surface. I'll go ahead and get rid of that. And now we start putting clamps on. And here's the thing about doing a video like this. I'm sure at least some of you guys have heard the saying, if you want to learn something off the internet, the fastest way is to put something on the internet that's wrong. Well, I kind of figure that's what I'm doing right now. Somebody watching this, you probably sitting there going, oh no, he's doing it all wrong. And, you know, please, please, please send me a message and let me know what I'm doing wrong. Because I love learning this stuff, and there's absolutely no reason why I would get upset at somebody for correcting me on something like this, because I honestly have no idea what I'm doing, really. This is an educated guess at this repair, which I don't mind doing to this violin. This violin was a happy accident, as Bob Ross would say, because I was buying a violin case. The violin I didn't care about until I got it and I played it, and even with all of these open seams, it sounded amazing. Much better than the violin I normally play. So here we are. We'll give it 24 hours to dry, and then tomorrow I will take another video to give you guys an update. Wish me luck. So, welcome back, and it's about 20 hours later, and it's time to take the clamps off. I've already tuned it, so hopefully as soon as these are off, I can play a little. All right, shoulders. That is looking much, much better. I can still see a little bit of open space right up here, but I think that might actually be an issue with the way that the neck is sitting. Let's do this hip. That looks good. Okay, now the big one. Okay. You know, it looks like the neoprene did affect the varnish a bit more than I thought it would. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Let's get this last one off and then have a really good look at it. Yeah, you know, probably a little bit of polish will take away the marks from the neoprene. But the big hole that was here before appears to have sealed up well. It's not pulling open. I'm not seeing any obvious gaps. That sounds fine. Sounds good. So I think we have a success. I have turned a violin that was probably destined to be a wall decoration or an art project or just trash, and it's now a playable instrument. So hopefully you guys will be seeing me play it in some videos soon. I'll continue fine-tuning it, get a chin rest and everything on it. That's exciting. I wasn't expecting this to really happen. I wasn't expecting to get a violin out of this purchase that I made. You know, like I said, it was just for the case. So this is very exciting indeed. All right. Well, I hope that was helpful for anybody who is interested in doing a similar repair. Things that we can say for sure is these worked really well. I'm really happy that I went ahead and used these. It's a 6-inch bolt with a 1-inch dowel that I cut into 1.5-inch pieces so I could really get a handle on them. And cork, definitely better than the neoprene. So these are going to end up being cork eventually then. Of course, to buy these, to buy the real thing, it's only like $4. So if you can wait for shipping, go to, I think it's Violin International or internationalviolin.com. I'll put a link in the description. Go there, you can find these. They're like $4 each. So if you can wait, just buy them. If you can't wait, you can go to the hardware store and make them yourself. It's not hard. But make sure you get the cork instead of the neoprene, because now I have to get those neoprene marks off of my violin. The violin has seen better days anyway, as you can tell, so I'm not too upset about it. But if you've got a violin that you really want to look nice, there we have it. If I've done something wrong and you think that there's a different way of doing something, please let me know, and I'll be happy to update in the description or something, because when I went looking for videos, there wasn't much out there, and it was really the guys on Reddit and Facebook who encouraged me to try this, and it's a success. So I want for other people to be able to find this video and enable them to make these repairs. The luthier told me $500. Now, he was also going to fix the neck. He said that there was something wrong with the neck, and I believe him. But even with no fixes to the neck, the violin is still very playable, and it still sounds really nice. I would have just used the luthier if I could, but I couldn't. And if you can't, just go ahead and get some hide glue. This is old brown glue is what I used, and I can put a link to that in the description also. You can also use the granules. And give it a go. It was a little intimidating, but not impossible. I did it. Seems to have worked. So thanks for watching.